It's the most expensive listing in America.
And you'd have to be very wealthy to purchase the largest and most expensive home ever listed in this country.
Guys, my name is Nile. I am the one. And 7 years ago, I had an idea to create the biggest, most expensive house in the urban world. Get ready to see something that no one has ever seen before. Get ready to see the One Bel Air.
Los Angeles is home to some of the world's most famous Hollywood stars, great year-round weather, and many of the world's most expensive homes. In recent years, there has been a rise in what are known as spec mega mansions. A small number of ambitious developers have pushed ahead in building some of the largest and most expensive homes, not only in Los Angeles, but in the entire world. To do so, many of these developers have spent tens of millions of dollars up front building these over-the-top mega mansions with the hopes of finding a buyer after their completion. And after 8 years of design and development, a mega mansion known as The One has been listed as the most expensive house in the world. Hitting the market for $500 million, it is nearly 5 times higher than the current Los Angeles record. The One was created by Nile Niami, a well-known real estate developer who is often referred to as the king of Los Angeles mega mansions. So who exactly is Nile Niami? Nile was born in Los Angeles, California, and grew up dirt poor. He initially set out to make it in the world of Hollywood by working his way up the corporate ladder and eventually launching his own film production company. In the late 90s, Nile would go on to produce many B-list movies, including Terminal Force, Point Blank, and The Patriot. As his producing career rose, Nile got more and more involved in real estate on the side by flipping cheap homes in the suburbs of LA. Over the next 10 years, Nile Niami worked his way up to flipping more and more expensive houses, and in 2012, he was able to flip a home to the Winklevoss twins for $18 million. From there, the deals only continued to grow. In 2014, he sold a custom-built mansion to P. Diddy for $39 million, and in 2017, he sold a Beverly Hills mansion to Floyd Mayweather for $26 million. It was these deals, among others, that led Nile Niami to try something no one had ever done before. Nile would attempt to build the world's most expensive house ever. In total, the Bel Air mega mansion is over 100,000 square feet and looks as if it's floating above the city. On top of the eye-catching outer design, the One has 42 bathrooms, 21 bedrooms, a 10,000-bottle wine cellar, a 50-car garage, a 50-seat movie theater, a 4-lane bowling alley, a VIP nightclub, an outside running track, and 5 swimming pools. And this isn't even scratching the surface. The house has a cigar lounge, multiple art galleries, a 4,000-square-foot guest house, tennis courts, a sprawling master bedroom, and even an anatomically correct giraffe skeleton. When it comes to the One, it's safe to say it's unlike anything ever built before. While the One has taken years to develop and is only now finally complete, Nile's plans have fallen in peril. Originally, the One was set to be complete 3 years ago. However, the house has faced many financial and construction delays. In order to build the One, Nile borrowed $82 million from Hankey Capital back in 2018, and over the past 3 years, that debt has increased to more than $110 million. The problem Nile now faces is that Hankey Capital wants their money. According to the Los Angeles Times, Hankey Capital served Nile Niami a notice of default on the property, which is often the first step in the foreclosure process. If Nile is unable to sell the house within 90 days, Hankey could seize the house and force a sale. Alternatively, 2 ways Niami could avoid this forced sale would be if he were able to find a way to repay the loan or come to an alternative agreement with Hankey Capital. This isn't the first time default notices have been made in the high-risk spec mega mansion industry. Only 2 years ago, the owners of the famed Mountain in Beverly Hills, a 157-acre lot often considered the city's finest piece of undeveloped land, faced a foreclosure sale due to $200 million in unpaid loans. The land was later auctioned off. As for Niami himself, this isn't the first time he's received default notices. In 2020, he received one for a $10 million debt he owed on a Hollywood Hills property, and one for a $23.4 million debt on a Bel Air property that he's currently trying to sell for $59 million. On top of these running debts, Nile Niami has also faced some issues with his neighbors. During the lockdowns, neighbors have complained of hundreds of people with no masks turning up in party buses, blasting music through speakers set up on the driveway of Nile's properties, and drunken guests yelling and arguing in the street into the early hours. According to the Daily Mail, Niami has been fined 5 times for parties at his properties that violated LA's social distancing rules. These 5 fines make up a third of the 15 fines that the city has given out since last August. Even though Nile Niami may be sitting on a $500 million house of cards, it's safe to say he's still finding time to party. Even with these growing debts and unsold properties putting pressure on the market, some real estate agents still think it is unwise to bet against Nile Niami. In the words of Josh Altman, the listing agent for Nile's West Hollywood property, in the high-stakes game of trophy properties, one sale can make or break somebody. One big deal can bring someone back to the top quickly because the margins on these are millions and millions of dollars. And it appears right now, Nile is trying to use every idea he can think of to sell the property. Niami launched a new social media campaign, calling around 200 Instagram influencers to market the property on their social media accounts. If any of the influencers find a buyer and sell the one, Nile says they would get paid $1 million for their efforts. In this high-risk industry, spec mega mansions are almost completely built houses under the speculation that once they are complete, they will be able to find a potential buyer. The advantages of spec mega mansions like the one are that they often have the potential for larger returns on investments, but the risk is that they tend to take longer to sell, and a slow sale often eats into the profits. In fact, the annual property tax bill for the one is costing Nile $1 million alone. Currently, Nile says he has some potential buyers interested in the property, but we will have to wait and see if any of them ever write Nile a check. In the meantime, Nile has supposedly been renting out some of his unsold properties to groups of TikTok stars, raking him in as much as $50,000 per month. On top of this, in a recent interview, Nile also mentioned that he would be opening the one up to investors who are interested in joining in on the property. Until the property finds a buyer, Nile says his goal is to begin hosting large-scale events, such as celebrity boxing matches or even the Grammys at the one. This, he says, has the potential to generate millions of dollars for the one, and is why he is now seeking outside investors to join in on what seems to be a far-fetched idea. With foreclosure looming, Nile said he has been facing a lot of stress and is exhausted. In fact, according to one news report, Nile found the spec mega mansion industry so stressful he decided to launch a fast casual rolled pizza chain in 2019 to have a secondary source of income. Following the completion and sale of the one, Nile Niami said he's getting out of the real estate business. I may do 1 or 2 more houses after this, but I'm not going to do the level of houses I'm doing now. It's too much stress. I'm exhausted. In the end, it will be interesting to see if Nile is able to pull off a sale for the most expensive listing in the world, the one. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments below. I'm curious to know.
I don't care who you are or how much money you have. You can never build this house again.
And with all that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every week.